Hello everybody, welcome to Cory Turner Talks Cars, and today we're going to talk about Waze. So you may be a Waze user. If so, that's great. I have friends and family that are. I'm not going to call myself a map snob, but I just don't use apps like that much. I will use on my iPhone, I will use the maps there if I need a general idea where I'm going. The reason is, for some reason, can't really explain it, I just have a really good sense of direction. North, south, east, west. If I can see a map, especially an overview, I can pretty much get myself anywhere. I'm pretty confident in that. It's always worked out well for me. When I sold real estate, I used a Maps Go, and that was just a big map, and I don't know, I just can navigate from that. And even without a map, I can be like, that's north, and it just seems to work out. But some things changed. Here recently, we got to travel to Las Vegas. Bella's team was playing in a tournament there, and we decided, instead of taking our car, driving into the airport and leaving it there, we would just do Uber and let Uber take us to the airport, and that was fine. So the Uber driver picked us up. We're headed to the airport, a route I have driven thousands of times. I mean, a ton of times. I've lived in this area for a long time. Traffic started to back up on the freeway, and all of a sudden his app, whatever he was using, was like, exit here. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, we do not need to exit here. That's not going to help us. And yet we exited. It took us on some back roads, and we saved a ton of time in traveling to the airport. And he was using the app Waze. And I was like, okay, that actually helped. Most of those roads I knew, I would have never used those as an alternate route to get to the airport, but at the end of the day, it saved us a ton of time. So I decided, we went to Houston the next weekend. So 2 weekends ago, Vegas on a soccer tournament for Bella. This last weekend, Houston on a soccer tournament for Bella, which they won. Congratulations to them. That was super awesome. I used Waze this entire trip, and I've got to tell you, I was super impressed. So I thought, I'm going to come on here and talk about Waze. Now, I know I'm 5-6 years past where, you guys all probably use Waze and have for many years, but it's new to me in the past 2 or 3 weeks as far as using it. I knew about it, but I just started using it. Let's talk a few things about Waze. First of all, it is an app. We're going to look at it here in just a second. But it is an app. It's a directions app, but it gives you a lot of details. It's going to find you the quickest and fastest route to get where you want to go. Now, it may take you on some different roads and things like that, stuff you may not be familiar with, but at the end of the day, its goal is to get you from point A to point B as fast as possible. Now, how in the world does it do that? And it was a little bit of a mystery to me. I had to go searching and be like, how do they know when I'm driving along, it's going to be like, beep, car on the side of the road ahead, pothole ahead, something in the road ahead, a policeman's up ahead, hidden on the side of the road. I was like, how do they know exactly what's happening? So when I went and did the research on this, how they know, it's basically like crowdfunding. It takes all the information from everybody who is using Waze at that time, and it translates all that information into data that it can use to give us the best possible directions. Let's say I'm driving down 114 and you're driving down 114 and we got someone else driving down 114. We're all using Waze. It has calculated the speed in which we're going, how that to determine how fast traffic is going. Is that the best route? And it's just doing that, I guess, millions of people all the time, as it is judging the fastest routes to get there. It is taking our information and doing that. And then if you're really involved, you can click a road hazard. We're going to look at that here in a second, and actually input additional information into the app. And then that helps all of us as we're out there traveling. So it encourages you just to leave that app open when you're out driving, because it is using that information to decide the best routes for everybody that's out there driving and using Waze, which is really amazing, I've got to say. The programming that would have to go involved to translate all of that data and put that into something that can be used instantly, my hat's off to them. And I have seen it now. It saved me a ton of time traveling to Houston for that soccer tournament. It saved us a ton of time. We made our flight at the airport because of that. So I'm like, it actually does a really good job. So let's look at a couple of things. If you haven't used Waze, I was going to show you. This is just the app here. This is pretty much, I was doing a route. I've got a few routes built in here. I'll show you. as we're driving. There on the left, there's a circle that says 31 miles per hour. That's how fast I'm going. It will turn red, and we watched some videos that it's going to turn red here quite a bit, but that lets you know if you're going too fast. As you're driving along, it's giving you like the miles per hour of, like you can see 31 of 30. That's kind of what's happening in front of us, how fast people are going. There's a circle there that has some cars in it. That's letting us know there's some heavy traffic ahead, but tons of things will pop up. So let's just roll this. I just want to show you a little bit of what I got going on here. This is us traveling. We're going to arrive at our destination at 9:29. That's 7 minutes, 3.7 miles left. And as you can see, it adjusts. Now here, let's back up just a little bit so you can look at that. If you look at that red, right there, there's those red cars there. If you were to push on that, it's going to tell you, okay, it's heavy traffic. And 2 minutes ago, it was Waze, somebody else that was driving around like we are, that had reported there's heavy traffic there. When you reach that, see where it has that little thumbs up? You can click that and you agree that there is heavy traffic there. If you want to get involved in it, then it's like, okay, well, that's actually helping everybody out. If you don't want to be in that involved, when your speed slows down and you're on a road you should be going 75 on, it's going to say, okay, something's up here. A lot of that information is there doing it. I will say this is kind of weird about Waze. Driving's a weird thing, right? It's kind of territorial, especially, I hate to say, if you're driving in Texas, it becomes really territorial and people get their feelings hurt real easy. They're going to drive the speed limit in the left lane, no matter how many signs say slower traffic, keep to the right. Left lane is for passing. By golly, that's their spot. They're not going to move. Lanes are trying to merge. People don't want to let people in. If you've driven in different countries, sometimes it looks crazy, but everybody kind of respects each other. You drive in some areas and it's like, this is my spot, I'm not letting you in, and that happens. Waze kind of, it does something where it makes you feel part of this community because suddenly you're like translating information and you're putting stuff in there. And you got to think, it seems really weird if you're driving, you're punching on this, that can't be safe. But it's like click, click. We'll look at that here in a second. All of a sudden, you kind of feel, I don't know, part of something bigger. And I got to say, it's actually really cool. So it's kind of cool knowing that you've pushed a button, put information in there, and that's helped other people. I think that's a neat community that Waze has built there. All right, so anyway, here I could push that, and it's going to tell me that, yeah, there's traffic, there's things happening. There's tons of information. If you see all these little emojis, those are other people using Waze that are driving around. You can choose to share information if you want to or not. They've been on for about 4 years. They're going 25 miles per hour. They got these little emojis and things that show people that way. It's pretty cool in that. So here on this route, I was going 25 miles per hour. Let's say like this one right here. So this one, there's a few other users. There's a policeman on the left. Someone has reported that there's a policeman there. Now at the bottom of the screen, I'm going to click on that. There's a little widget under 6:22, which is going to be my arrival time for this trip. There's that little blue widget. If I touch that, it's going to open up this screen. And there's several things I can do on this screen. If I need to park, if I need to get gas, I can click that, and it's basically going to add a stop in my route, and it'll give me a entire selection of gas stations there. And most of the time, it'll let me know what their gas prices are. That's something else you can do as a user, is you can punch in gas prices while you're driving around. Not while you're driving around, but when you stop and get gas, you could type in how much it was. So someone here could hit that gas symbol, and it's going to let them know the gas stations around, and it's going to tell them what the prices are, which are pretty cool. If you need to eat, you could click on that. It's going to show you that information there. At the bottom, there's a little button there that says routes. And if you clicked on routes, well, what that's going to do is it's going to show you alternate routes. Maybe you don't want to go the way, like right here, maybe you don't want to go the way it's showing you. It'll calculate multiple routes for you, so you can look and see if you like those, which I think is pretty cool too. On the right there is that orange circle, okay? So if you press on that orange circle, that is if you're going to report that there's an issue. So this screen here will pop up. Is it traffic? Is it police? Did you see a crash? Is there a hazard? You want to input gas prices? Whatever it is you're wanting, the map issue, if you're wanting to do that. So now you've got the screen where you're now putting information in. Like right here, I hit that hazard. So is it on the road? Is it on the shoulder? Is it weather issues? We were driving to Houston, and all of a sudden this warning came up and said hazard in the road. And It was on the road, and it was probably a 4 or 5 foot piece of metal. It was pretty thin, but would have caused severe tire damage. But it was kind of cool because as we got closer, it was letting me know, hey, this is coming up. And that's because someone driving along ahead of me did that. Like here, you can do vehicle stopped, animals, there's signs missing. The vehicle stopped is pretty cool. That helps out quite a bit. So that's really neat there. You can report information as you're driving around so that the other people, your fellow motorists, you can kind of keep them up to date on what's happening. Let's keep going. What else do we see here? Okay, so down here on the left, I'm going 40 miles per hour, and that's just letting me know I'm going too fast. Did you see it? It kind of flashed red right there. Mine flashes red a little too much. Also here, there's the button in the middle at the bottom. It's called Share. If I click on Share, let's go back. I didn't actually share this one, but if I clicked on Share, I could text my information to someone to let them know, hey, I'm on my way, I'm running late. Log into Waze and you can see where I am, and it'll give you the idea of how fast I'm going to get there. And that way they don't have to go do find my iPhone and keep track of you covertly. You can actually share it right there, and they can know how soon you're going to arrive. We did that when we were headed to dinner. Nash and I were late. We just filmed the game and we were headed to dinner, and everybody was already there. So I shared that with Angie so she could look and see how close we were. So that's a pretty cool feature there that you can do that. If you click on Overview, that's going to give you my Maps Go look that I love. It's just going to let me know, here's my Maps Go. And then it kind of gives me an idea of some hazards and things that things are coming up that's going to be in the way. Super, super useful. Also, there is advertisements on there. Like I am stopped. So see at the bottom left, it says 0 miles per hour. And then there's advertisements. There's this Chick-fil-A. Looks like a cheddar. I could click on Chick-fil-A. It'll give me information. A thing will pop up. Clicked on Cheddar's too, and I could easily click another button and give me directions to go there. It's got a little bit of an advertisement. Ooh, chicken pot pie. That looks pretty good. Huh. Might have to try one of those, right? And then it just keeps going from there. I clicked on that. Okay, so this one's funny. Look at that. I clicked on that road hazard, and it's like pothole on the road. So somebody had gone in and said, hey, there's a big pothole. It was funny. I'd seen one of those, and I'm like, whatever. And when I got to, not this one, but it was another time, it was a huge pothole, but it was kind of nice knowing it's going up there. It's kind of neat knowing you got other motorists that are giving you that information. If you're traveling through town, I'm traveling through like the DFW area, look at the mess there. Look at the hazards. You got road construction. You got traffic. One thing I didn't see on this trip was it wasn't a lot of accidents. I do love, like I say, when it says car stopped on the side of the road, which is pretty cool so that you know that that's coming up. Let's see if there's anything else super exciting. Hey, look, it's got a care now. Looks like I'm in red again. I passed 75. I'm going 78 miles per hour. I probably need to be a little bit better about that. If you're going to share your directions and stuff where you are with somebody, you probably want to make sure that you're not driving too crazy. So, and then, of course, you get to your directions. You can turn it on. It can give you verbal cues. And it does pretty good on those, take exit 374 in a quarter of a mile, and then it'll be like down to feet, like 100 feet, 75 feet. Is pretty funny. It gives you pretty accurate directions. So I guess I can't help it. I am using Waze now, and it's getting me places faster. It's actually taking the stress out of things. I don't have to worry about it. And I feel like I'm doing something for other people because I'm sharing that data while I'm driving, which is making the system that more robust and that stronger so that we're giving you better directions. So do you use Waze? If you do, leave me a comment. I want to know what you think. Have you had good experiences or bad experiences with the program? I've had great experiences so far. I've absolutely loved it. Is there another app that you use? I want to give it a try too. I'm kind of really curious now about about how these direction apps are going and how these maps apps are going, and just want to see what the best one's out there. But I got to be honest with you, Waze has been fantastic so far and literally has saved me time and has helped me not be late on at least 3 occasions now. So, and I don't have to go super fast because it finds me the right route and I know where I'm going to be, and it just takes the guesswork out of it. So anyway, let me know what app you're using. Remember to like, comment, and share. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and let's talk about cars tomorrow.